I'm ready for Tuesday. Very ready for Tuesday.
When the drum beats changes, the dancers must adjust their steps. This African proverb resonates deeply in Nairobi's Central Business District, CBD, where a single shot by the police turned a normal day into a national outrage.
Anaitwa nani? Ali.
Watu wake kama kuna simu angalia watu.
Umeshika namba yake mami? Namba.
Ni sawa lakini watu wake wamkujie.
Yesterday, Collins Odhiambo, a humble face masked vendor, became the latest victim of what many are calling unchecked police brutality in Kenya's capital. His shooting has triggered shockwaves, fresh anger, calls for justice that echo far beyond the busy pavements of the city.
The young man that I'm talking about, I'm being told, is again from Homa Bay and from Suba. Madam Speaker, that is why we must always stand on principle. Can you imagine if I was speaking here carelessly, saying how it is nice for police to kill people? But I have said the police need to restrain themselves without knowing that this is a person from Suba. Madam Speaker, I want to repeat. It does not matter, and he was selling masks because people are demonstrating. I've actually watched that clip.
Collins was not a criminal. He wasn't armed. He wasn't even a protester. Witnesses say he was simply trying to sell masks, something he had done daily since the pandemic pushed him into informal vending after losing his previous job. His stall, located near Kencom in the Nairobi CBD, was a familiar sight to many commuters. But yesterday, everything changed.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Babu Owino, Member of Parliament for Embakasi East constituency. I stand before you today not just as a voice of concern, but as a citizen who is deeply outraged by the senseless violence we are witnessing.
At around midday, chaos reportedly erupted when a group of officers, under the guise of enforcing city bylaws, curbing hawking, began a harsh crackdown. Traders scattered, stalls were overturned, some vendors were beaten, and then came the moment that has sparked national fury. Gunshots rang out and Collins dropped. Eyewitnesses say the police officer, whose identity is now in public and under investigation, appeared agitated after an argument with another vendor. Collins, according to those present, had tried to intervene or plead for calm. Instead, he was met with a bullet that tore through his lower jaw and shattered parts of his cheek. Blood soaked his shirt as bystanders screamed in horror. Instead of immediate medical assistance, the police reportedly continued their raid, leaving Collins writhing in pain on the streets. It took nearly 15 minutes before a Good Samaritan rushed him to Kenyatta National Hospital. As of this report, Collins is in critical condition and undergoing facial reconstructive surgery. Doctors say his recovery will be long and painful.
Required to undergo an emergency neurosurgical procedure, and as we speak, the patient is in theater with the neurosurgical team. As a precaution, of course, we have prepared an ICU bed because a case of such nature requires ICU support immediately in the post-op period. Yeah.
Kenyans took to social media in rage, demanding justice under trending hashtags like Justice for Collins and Stop Police Brutality. Videos of the incident, some taken by nearby shopkeepers and matatu operators, and some demonstrators, are being widely circulated. In them, the face of Kenya's police force appears neither protective nor professional, but brutal and indifferent.
But we must agree one thing, Madam Speaker. What has happened, for instance, today? A young man selling some items in town has been shot down by a police officer. Selling face masks. Madam Speaker, the young man did not run. He was unarmed. It's just worrying. And one of the roles that the National Police Service has to do is to bring our country together. And the greatest threat now we have is when an institution or leadership loses touch with the people they lead. Where I come from, Madam Speaker, we rear cattle. The worst shepherd is the shepherd who cannot look back and see where his cattle is. Let us be careful that we do not lose touch with Kenyans. A good shepherd looks back to see whether he still has his flock. Let us not lose Kenyans in the race of leading Kenya. And specifically for us who are elected on Kenya Kwanza.
Collins' family, who live in Kibra, are still in disbelief. His mother, breaking down in tears, said her son was only trying to make ends meet. Meanwhile, the National Police Service has issued a vague statement claiming the matter is under review. No arrests have been made yet, and no public apology has been issued to Collins or his family. As dusk fell over Nairobi, a small group of youth gathered near archives with placards demanding police reforms. The shooting of Collins Odhiambo is not just a tragic mistake, it's a test of Kenya's moral compass. Will justice be served, or will another poor youth be swept under the carpet of impunity?
Allow me, Honorable Speaker, also to express my disappointment with the shooting that just happened. I had not seen that video. I've just watched that video. It's very unfortunate. And as we were saying earlier, our police officers must exercise restraint even as they conduct their work, and appreciate that they are dealing with fellow human beings so that we do not lose limb or lives, even with the demonstrations that people are carrying on with.
The drumbeat has indeed changed. Now the question remains, will the dancers, our leaders, our law enforcement, and our justice system adjust their steps before the whole nation stumbles into silence?